Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is good. Yesterday, we talked about regional foods, and our new friend Dutch from England said that they have a Sunday dinner every Sunday, which is like mashed potatoes, meat, like chicken or beef, Yorkshire pudding, some type of fish or something like that, gravy. And so I wanted to touch on that because I think that I kind of missed. Maybe I didn't miss that because I've heard that a lot. I've heard that areas of the world, lots of people have a traditional Sunday thing, an event, a dinner, whatever you want to call it. I didn't really have that growing up. My mom cooked every day of the week, and so we just had whatever she cooked on Sundays. It wasn't special. We didn't have family over or anything like that. But I have heard, uh, and I have experienced the traditional Sunday dinner. I know that my friends in Poland, for instance, tell me that on Sundays in Poland they cook giant pots of soup, and then they preserve, and then they have soup for the rest of the week. So they make this huge pot of soup, and then they different types of soups, and then they have soup for the rest of the week, and that's a Sunday tradition there. In my ex's family, Sunday dinner was a thing. The family all got together on Sunday afternoon and had an early dinner. It's always early too, like between 3 and 4. I don't normally eat until 6 or 7 at night, but it was always like this 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock dinner that was the traditional Sunday dinner. And it was always a bigger, more elaborate meal than everything else you ate for the rest of the week. So I know that's a very common thing, but that brought up the idea of talking about like other food practices. Are there regional things that you do that surrounding food? Uh, we talked yesterday about like what would you eat if you came here to visit me, and that's not really a thing. Like we don't. If people were to come visit me, food would not be a big part of the visit, right? There's we just like you want to go to Applebee's or something. Like we have McDonald's. Like the food is not a highly regarded thing here. I mean, there are absolutely foodies anywhere you go in the world, and there are people who will tell you, here's the best place to get this and the best place to get that in this area, but it's not like a thing that you do, right? It's just part of existing. Uh, but the Sunday dinner thing I identify with from my previous, in-laws. My M's family doesn't do Sunday dinner. Yeah, they do. They actually do a Sunday dinner. Now that I think about it, because they usually have a day of crafting at their house with her aunt, and then there's Sunday dinner. So I do experience it there. Now that I think about it, so I think that's a pretty common thing, and I would say that with M's mom likes to cook and likes to make people's feel good about what they're eating, so she tends to put effort into every meal she makes. Sundays, though, I would say she puts in a little bit more effort, but we don't have like a normal. Here's what you have for Sunday dinner. I've never experienced that in any of the versions of the Sunday dinner I've gone to. It's just whatever we happen to cook that day. If it is one of the more elaborate, then yeah, it's generally going to involve like a turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy. Like there's stuff that you don't cook every single day. But in my house, I cook mashed potatoes like 3 times a week, probably. I cook them a lot. And so that's not really like a special thing. We don't have a special dinner per se here. When my kids were younger, Sunday mornings, we would go to lunch together. So while we would go like to an early-ish lunch, like 11:30, try to beat the church crowd to a couple of family restaurants that are around here that we liked. And we would have lunch together every Sunday. And I guess that's a version of the Sunday dinner. Um, but we don't have like a typical, Wednesday night is a dinner party or anything like that. And so I'm curious to know, obviously Dutch already told us about the Sunday dinner in northeastern England. Uh, what is your version of Sunday dinner? Is it Saturday because you're Catholic or Jewish or something like that. I'm sure there's other days. Is there a day of the week? Is there like a regular thing for you? Do you have like family comes over this night and that's a seems to be a regional experience? I would say here we are. We are kind of in the Bible Belt. I think that if you drove through West Virginia, you would think we are definitely in the Bible Belt. I think we kind of, the Bible Belt goes like this and comes up into West Virginia, because there are churches everywhere and lots of people go to church. And we always had like a fellowship after church, which would be like a brunchish kind of thing, but it was usually just snacks and cupcakes and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I've had my own family for so long now that I don't really know what other families do on Sunday. I wouldn't say that a Sunday dinner is a regional thing here. It's probably a family by family basis. Yeah, and we don't really have like a food culture. Like I said earlier, if you came to visit, like food is not going to be a big part of your visit. It's not going to be, we go here on this day and we do this because that's where you eat or whatever. We don't have like um, you know regular spots where this day is the special that you really want to go for or whatever. Um, we have our favorites. I mean, obviously, Em and I have tried just about everything in this town, and we have our favorite spots for certain things. If I want wings, I know where I'm going to go get wings. If I want Mexican, I know where I'm going to go get Mexican. If I want Italian, I know where I'm going to go get Italian. Um, but we don't have a tradition that surrounds food, or that is defined by food. I think that's what I've been trying to say. Do you have non-holiday traditions that are defined by food? Like, is there a regular food thing in your life? I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. You got anything exciting going on this weekend? I've got the kids, but my oldest works tonight. My youngest is leaving for scout camp tonight, so I won't have both of them tonight, and then I think the youngest gets back on Sunday, and so we just kind of got a pretty chill weekend. I think my oldest wants me to build her a couple of things. We might do some shopping, and I'm sure there'll be some gaming, but I don't have big plans. What do you got going on? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is perturbation. It is a noun meaning originally used to describe the phenomenon of one's planet's gravitational field throwing another planet's orbit slightly out of kilter. Today, perturbation refers more generally to a distance that alters the normal state or function of a system, moving object, person, or process. O polished perturbation, golden care, that kept the ports of slumber open wide to many a watchful night. William Shakespeare. Perturbation. Perturbatation. So I've read all of that. I still have no idea what that word means or why I would ever use it. This episode was weird. I wasn't really able to say what I meant to say today, I don't think. I don't know, you tell me.